Thank you, Father Bauer. Your Excellency, Reverend Fathers, esteemed guests, and my brothers. The week before Father Nels Jengdahl was ordained a priest, he and the other ordinandi were at Archbishop Flynn's residence having lunch. The ordinandi were all very nervous and ate their lunch very quickly, just waiting for Archbishop Flynn to hand out their first assignments. Now, it's not tradition for a priest to be assigned to his home parish, so Father G thought, well, St. Odelia is my home parish, so I'm not going to be assigned there, thank God. But really, Lord, I will go wherever you send me, even if it's St. Joan of Arc. I will go wherever you send me, Lord. I will go there. Father Jengdahl opened up his envelope. St. Odelia. He found himself sitting in his car after lunch thinking, really? Here? I don't want to be here. I know what this parish is like. I know the beat that it moves to, and that's not the beat I want to move to. I've just been rigorously trained in liturgy and theology for the last 6 years, and I want to go to a place where I know I can use it, and that's not St. Odelia. But the next week, Father Jengdahl was ordained, and thanks to a happy mix-up in the paperwork, he began his ministry at both his and my home parish, St. Odelia. Once he and the new pastor arrived there, all sorts of ideas started brimming around in his head of what he could do at the parish, particularly thinking he could get the parish to say Mass in Latin within the year. Each time, Father G would run to the pastor with his idea, excitedly tell it to him, and the pastor would calmly listen and then say, "It's not the time for that right now." Time and time again, Father Jengdahl went upstairs, dejected and humbled. But this began a great learning process that grew to a greatness in docility through his 6 years now as a priest. And it's because of this docility that I consider Father Nels Jengdahl my priest hero. Father Jengdahl learned so many things in his 3 years at St. O's. And one of those things that he learned, that there are good and holy people everywhere. A lot of times we can think that God isn't working in some places or that he can't work in other places. And Father G had a lot of this kind of doubt in what he both knew and saw at St. Odelia. But when he took a closer look, Father G learned that while it's not the best at St. Odelia, it's not pure evil either. And on all those places where Father G thought God wasn't working or couldn't work, God was really doing everything he could to bring his people closer to him. But most importantly, Father G learned the immense importance of building relationships with the people in the parish. The people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So Father G showed them that he cared for them, that he wanted to be with them and to walk with them to Jesus. His first assignment was a time of great learning for Father G, and he was completely docile to everything the Lord had to teach him at St. Odelia. After 3 years, Father Jengdahl moved on to his second parish assignment, and again the Lord had much to teach Father G in his single year there. Father G describes this year as his spiritual desert. The two brother priests to whom he was very close were sent away that year for further studies. So Father Jengdahl found himself in a new place, alone, without any close friends, and not much consolation in faith either. The Lord had challenged him again in this assignment, and in his docility, Father Jengdahl rose to meet the challenge. Father G learned a stronger and more disciplined prayer life. Now, he was never neglectful of the breviary, but sometimes daytime, evening, and night prayers were said pretty close together. He kicked that habit and developed a regular prayer life, one in which he could regularly hear the Lord speaking to him, asking him whether he could be alone with the Lord or not in the absence of his brother priests. And through this prayer, Father Jengdahl learned that he could be alone with the Lord. And in his semi-solitude, he learned the high importance of priestly fraternity. Father G went into his first two assignments disappointed, but with a willingness and docility to receive everything that the Lord had to give him. And he left both of those assignments a better and holier priest. Now Father Jengdahl is in his third assignment, yet another one he didn't see coming: teaching. But again, Father Jengdahl has accepted this assignment with great docility. He's grown to relish the opportunity to talk religion for 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week, to high school boys. How many priests have that opportunity? And he also has grown to see spiritual fatherhood in a new way as the admiration for the parents of his students grows. He only has to deal with the boys at St. Thomas Academy about 4 hours a day, but their parents have to deal with them a lot more than that. But Father Jengdahl loves every one of his students, and he tries to relate with them in a way that he drew from an experience with a hipster couple once. They didn't go to church. After all, they're hipsters. So Father Jengdahl asked them in his own awkward way, "Well, you don't go to church? Why do you hate Jesus?" The woman responded, "Father, it's not that we hate Jesus, it's that we don't know him." Father Jengdahl wants all of his students, and really everyone he knows, to know Jesus. Father Nels Jengdahl is my priest hero, not only because he's funny, smart, awkward, a nerd, well, pretty much a lot like myself, but because of his great docility to the will of God given through the church. Father didn't want to be at any of his assignments so far, but he has entered into each one with a mind and heart open to what God had to teach him, all those things that he didn't learn in seminary. And each of those things that he's learned has brought him closer to God, to love God's people more, and to desire more and more to bring them to know Jesus. Father Jengdahl has taken the words of Archbishop Flynn as his own. "If I had 1,000 lives to live, I'd live every one of them as a priest. Praised be Jesus Christ."